Imagine this. You enter your college campus. At the main gate, there is a security department checking who you are, why are you here, and what you are allowed to access. Without their approval, you cannot enter classrooms, you cannot access labs, you cannot enter staff rooms, you cannot touch sensitive areas. That security department is exactly what IAM is in AWS. IAM stands for Identity and Access Management. It is the security department of your AWS account. Just like a college has thousands of peoples, different roles, different access levels, AWS account also has many users, different services and different permissions. IAM decides who can access AWS, what they can access, and how much access they get. IAM users. In a college, peoples include students from first year, second year, final year, different departments, teaching staff, non-teaching staff, admin staff, sanitary workers, stall owners, event organizers, auditors, new admissions, and many more. In AWS, these people are IAM users. Each IAM user represents a real person or an application. Every user gets a username, credential like passwords or access keys, just like a college ID card. IAM User Groups, grouping similar people. In colleges, people are grouped as student groups, teaching staffs, non-teaching staffs, maintenance group, admission groups, and etc. Each group gets a specific ID card color. You would have seen in your college, each department would have different colors of their ID card, or students in their hostels would have a different color comparing to the day scholar students. These colors has predefined access. In AWS, this is called the IAM User Group. Instead of assigning permissions to each user individually, we put users into groups and assign permissions to the groups. Examples: all students comes under student group, all developers come under developer group. This makes management easy and scalable. IAM Roles. Now here's an important concept. A role is not a person. In a college, a student can become an event volunteer. A professor can become an exam invigilator. A staff member can become an audit coordinator. These are temporary responsibilities, not permanent identities. In AWS, this is an IAM role. For example, a student normally can attend classes, can use the library. But during a college fest, the student becomes an event organizer. Temporarily get access to auditorium, stage controls, and event systems. That is IAM role. Temporary, assumed when needed, least privilege, not permanent access. AWS example: EC2 assuming a role to access the S3. That is IAM role. A EC2 instance can have a role attached to it which has the permissions to access the S3 bucket. Similarly, a Lambda function needs a role to access a S3 bucket. This applies for all the services in AWS. IAM Policies. Now, how does the security department decide access? They follow written rules. In a college, students can enter their department labs. They cannot enter other departments. Staffs can enter staff rooms. Admins can access everything. These written rules are IAM policies. Policy define what actions are allowed, like read permission, write permission, or delete permission, on which resources, under what condition. These policies must follow a principle of least privilege. Best practices in AWS is to give only the access that is required, nothing more. AWS example, developers can access EC2 logs, can deploy applications, but cannot delete production databases. Types of IAM policies. Now that we know what a policy is, let's understand the types of policies in AWS. In a college, not all rules are written the same way. Some rules are predefined by the university, some rules are created by the college itself, some are given temporary access for a specific person. So let's see what are the types of policies in AWS. AWS Managed Policies. These are created and maintained by AWS. These policies are ready to use, automatically updated by AWS. Few example policies are Administrator Access, Amazon S3 Read-Only Access, Amazon EC2 Full Access. These are best for quick setup, common use cases. These does not necessarily follow best practice or least privileges. Next type is the job function policies. These policies are still AWS managed. These are designed for specific job roles. Examples: Power User Access, Billing Access, Database Administrator or Network Administrator. These are best for assigning permissions based on job roles and fast onboarding. Next comes the customer managed policies. Examples: students can access only Lab A, not Lab B. Developers can access only Dev EC2s, not Prod. Auditors can access logs only during office hours. In AWS, these are customer managed policies. These are created by you. These are fully customizable, reusable across users, groups and roles. This is best for a production environment, security sensitive workloads, and this follows least privilege. This is what the real world AWS environment uses. Inline policy. Now imagine this situation. A student is selected for a one-time special project. So the security says this rule applies only to this student, not to their entire group. Once the project ends, the rule is removed. In AWS, this is an inline policy. This is attached directly to one user or one group or one role. It is not reusable. This is not recommended for large scale use case. This is for very specific temporary access. Let's explore the UI of the IAM Center in AWS. So as soon as you enter the IAM, you could see this is the dashboard of the IAM Center. This gives us the exact details of the number of groups you have, users, roles and policies. So for this demo, let's create an IAM user. So now I am going to create a user. So let me go into users, click on create user and give a name. I am going to provide user access with a AWS console. We can create an user without the AWS console access. You might have a doubt what is the use case of a user without the AWS access. Developers do not need access for the AWS management console. They only needed the credentials to access the server for developing their application. So in that case, we will not give the AWS managed console access. And I am going to leave it as auto generate. User must create a, I am going to check this also. So user once logging in will have to create a new password for their own. I will click on next. So as seen in the earlier video, we can add this user to a group, but as of now I have not created any group. We can copy permissions from an existing user. In some use cases, we might have a auditor. A new auditor wants to access our environment. So instead of manually going and selecting and giving the policies, we can copy from the auditor one, which has the access, or we can attach the policy directly. For this demo purpose, I am going to give the administrator access for my user. As discussed earlier, there are 4 types of policies. AWS Managed Job Functions. These are job specific roles. These are AWS Managed Policies. AWS Managed Policies are itself around 1428 matches, and job specific is around 12. So these are the different types of jobs which we can give: view only access, support access, read only access. Okay, so for this demo I am going to give the administrator access to my user. I'm going to click next. So you can see this is a preview page. Preview and create. So I can see the username, the password is set to auto generate, and I will have to reset the password. And you can see I have only added this policy, but in default, as we are having the auto generate password thing, this is assigned by the AWS itself. IAM user change password policy. So you can understand the level of importance of policies. Even for a specific access, specific action in AWS, we need a permission level. So to change the password, only if I have this policy, I will be able to change. So before creating the user, I would like to tag. What is tags? Tags are just like your ID cards details. In your ID card detail, you will have your tags like name, your roll number, your registration number. So these are known as tags, or which can be easily tracked. I'll show this separate video of the importance of tags and how tags can be helpful in categorizing the resources. So it is a best practice to tag every resources you create in AWS. So the key I'm going to give is name. I'm going to give as project PandaOps, and I'm going to create my user. This is going to be my first user created. Note, creating a user doesn't cost you any. As soon as you create your auto-generated password with the sign-in URLs, you can download this CSV file, which will give you the credentials in this Excel format. So I have opened the credentials. Enter the account ID, the IAM user, and the password. Now click on sign in. You will get the password reset page. You have created a first user, and now I am accessing my account as an IAM user.